Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. I'm out on my own again this morning. Bro's unavailable today, so I'm on a solo mission to the new permission. I'm driving my 4x4 around the tracks heading towards one of our feeders. Past the polytunnels, a bit of GoPro footage to show you where we shoot. You can already make out something's going on with the sky there. You might have guessed, this is the morning of the solar eclipse. All the fields are pretty much planted up now, this year's vegetables, and the fruit trees are all been sorted out, ready to attract some paying customers, so the farmer makes his livelihood. I'm hoping to run into some non-paying customers this morning who have made their livelihood out of his livelihood, so to speak. He's not very happy about it. He wants me to stop them, which I intend to try to do. As you can see, I've got my lights on. A bit of an eerie light this morning. Now looking at this footage, the sky looks quite unusual to me. Very pretty, but then again the dawn normally looks pretty to me anyway. That's part of the reason we get up early. It's a pleasure to be out some days. It's better than being in bed. The GoPro seems to have picked up something. I know it's going to be an unusual day, what with the solar eclipse and all. I'm approaching the hill now, starting to go up a bit. I'm heading in towards the sun. The sun always rises over there. I've had to move this feeder because of it. It starts to get quite steep now. I've come back down to normal speed. Just past the beehive on the right. Incidentally, I've moved Bro's feeder back to there. Wasn't getting much joy in the other place. You'll see that in future videos, hopefully. We've not shot it as I speak. I'm rapidly approaching my feeder. Ground's nice and dry. And there it is, on that tree. I normally park by this water tank and set up my pop-up hide directly behind. Keep it out of the wind. I've been there 10 minutes and a jay's come down. There's quite a lot of these here. Again, I try to lift the rifle to him and he flies off. And immediately comes back. Or maybe it was another one, I don't know. I try to line up on him and he flies away. Then I have another go. But I've got the rifle pretty much mounted this time, expecting a jay. So the movement's a lot less. I'm just going to line up on him. And he hasn't noticed me. I take up the first stage of the 2-stage trigger and get ready to release a shot. And drop him with a clean body shot. Terminator finds its mark and drops him to the ground. We hear them a lot on all our permissions and see them quite often as well. We probably get about 10 a year maybe, if that. It pays to keep on top of the numbers. That wasn't the intended target. We're hoping for some grey squirrels. But the morning is still young, and I have a few hours to wait yet. And there's another jay sat down the bank from me. And I spot this fella coming from the right. Seems to be a popular direction they come in from. Looks to me like he might be going for the feeder. I get prepared, only to find out he's legged it down the bank for some bizarre reason. I've left this bit in just to hear the magpies here. There's an awful lot of them, and hopefully we'll be targeting them at some time soon. They use larson traps around here. Another about 80 last year apparently, so we might get in on the act as well. Anyway, the morning's gone on a bit more. Not seen this solar eclipse yet, or I don't believe I have. You can hear a tractor's getting closer and closer to me. I'm starting to think I'm not going to have such a good day today. You see the sunlight still on the trees. So because there was a disturbance, I got out, set the jay up as a decoy. Thought I might manage to bring in some more of them. There is quite a few here. But directly after getting back in the hide, this fella comes in. Literally 5 minutes after I got back in the hide after setting that up. How bizarre. Never mind, that's what we came for. The farmer's gone off in his tractor. I've got a squirrel on the feeder. All I have to do is shoot it. And the Terminator connects with the top of its head. as was foretold. You usually get some sort of bizarre kicking about. For some reason that one's moving his head. I'm not happy with that at all. So I line up on him a second time. And give him a second one. Don't know what happened there. Very, very weird. I do later find out what's going on, but I'll tell you about that later. The second shot was good, just a few nervous twitches. And that squirrel went for the day on the ground. Despite all the disturbance, I'm quite happy with that. You can hear the farmers coming past again in his tractor, and that's what he's doing. I think it's some sort of pellet fertiliser, just pelted my hide with. He's going up and down the rows. He's got to do what he's got to do. We're here to help his business out, not to hinder it. And there he is down by the nut trees. He's planted some peach trees over there as well. Anyway, back to business again. We've got another squirrel. He was on the top of the feeder and he spotted me move. He scampered up the tree. You hear the claws on the top of the feeder there. Must be having a bad day. It's quite odd they don't sprint away. I was waiting for him to come back down and I'm watching him now. I don't want to move the camera just in case he spots me again. I need to do something about that. I do come up with a plan which I haven't put into effect yet. I'm busy watching this squirrel up the tree, trying not to move. There he is. He's up there somewhere. As you can tell by how slow I'm moving the camera. I'll try not to disturb him again. I've had to wait a little while for this one. He's up that branch somewhere. Like I say, I don't want to disturb him, so I'm trying to make all the movements very small indeed and not stick my head out. There he is. I knew he was up there somewhere. I'm trying to get the gun up now and line up on him. I can see his head through the gap in them sticks. So I line up on him and catch him one straight in the side of the head with the Terminator. Another one kicks quite vigorously on the ground. Doesn't appear to be any head movement this time. That's your normal nervous response. That's two on the ground. I'm quite happy with that. Put the safety back on again. It's turning out to be one of them mornings. This is over to the left of the feeder. Spotted this squirrel coming in. He's eyeballing my hide. Doesn't like it. There's got too many sticks to take a shot on him. I'm still waiting for this solar eclipse. It looks like he sprinted through the branches there. This looks promising. Little flea bag having a scratch there. Where's he gone now? It's quite a strange permission this is. They come romping straight into the feeder, or they come in all nervy like. I don't know why they should be nervous. It's not like you get a second bite of the cherry with us normally. They usually come and take a feed and go away happy, or come and have a feed and end up on the floor. I've left the camera trained on the feeder, so I don't want it to move and spook him anymore. Here he comes. He doesn't like it much, does he? Very nervous. I don't think it's because of the ones on the floor. That doesn't normally stop them. He's going to have a sniff at that one. Trying to move the camera. It's very nervous, this one. He disappears up behind there and shoots up a tree. And he's sat with his back to me. It's very irritating. I don't know what you should do that for. And that sounds me firing into the bottom of my hide. I've just noticed that the gauge on the bottom of the gun has gone from full down to halfway. And again, another big thank you to Mr. Crampton of the Ratworks, who directed me exactly to the problem. Some bizarre reason, the bottle's come undone by 2 whole turns. It's a probe fill rifle, so there's no need to do that. The only thing I could think of, it's all the rat shooting we do, and the panning backwards and forwards on the sticks. Might have done that. But at this point, not really happy with the rifle's performance, so I don't want to do any more shooting. And typically, just as I'm about to leave the hide, this fella comes in. I wouldn't be able to shoot it anyway. Not with the way I'm thinking about this rifle. It comes in from the left and tanks on through to the right. Maybe it's that one that went past it earlier on, I don't know. But I've come out now to see what all this solar eclipse nonsense is all about. The light levels look okay. When you turn the camera up to the sun, some weird sort of lensing going on. So I've put an IR filter I've got in my bag on. It's turned it all nice and red. And that indeed is a solar eclipse, or a partial one anyway. There's enough light coming past that sun to light you up. I was expecting it to go a lot darker than that. Let's have a bit of a play. It's quite pretty. And an event I'm probably not going to see again for a long time. So that made up for the gun playing up. At that point, I was quite annoyed. You feel a bit silly later on when you realise the bottle's come undone. There it is. Partial solar eclipse. And I did get a couple of squirrels and a jay. I'll go back to watching a few more of the birds. They don't seem to mind either. Bit of a strange day today. We're pretty much wrapped up now. There's a jay. Quite happy with the shot on that one. I think my gun might have been losing pressure as I was shooting it. That's probably why that one didn't get hit perfectly where I was aiming. And this shot here, it's a little bit low for my liking. Can't quite see it yet because of my rubbish camera work. It's caught it through there, but it was aiming up at an angle. I should have aimed about there. Well, that's where I was actually aiming. The pellet dropped low. This is how we tell normally if the squirrel feed has been hit. I was level of wheat out on the top like that. And when you look in, you can see that dip. You know something's been on there eating it. It's not a bad day out, all things considered. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.